welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I am Risa, and today I'm going to be reviewing for you the NUDIE PATOOTIE eyeshadow palette from Laura Lee, Los Angeles. So for those of you who might be unfamiliar with Laura Lee, she is a very popular YouTuber. Now, I can't say that I have been a longtime follower or subscriber of hers because that would not be the truth. To be perfectly honest with you, and I wasn't sure if I should even say this in the video, I'm a subscriber of hers, but I'm not an avid watcher of hers. I know a lot of us do that. We subscribe to channels, but we don't always watch. There's just so many creators that maybe we connect with more, or their content just suits maybe our skin type or our eye shape better. Anyway, I saw this palette on social media, and like a lot of you, I was kind of confused. I was intrigued by it, but I wasn't really sure what it really looked like. I want to backtrack for a moment and let you know that this is actually Laura's second palette that she's put out. The first one was called Cat's Pajamas. I did not pick that one up. I know some people had problems or issues with the texture of those shadows, the pigment of the shadows, the packaging of that palette. And from what I could hear in Laura's video, I didn't watch the whole thing, I didn't watch the tutorial, I only watched the introduction of the palette with the swatches and all of that. She did say that she took the feedback from that first palette and put that into this one, whether it was changing the textures, the colors, I'm not really sure. The packaging has definitely improved. This is what it looks like. There are 14 shades in this palette. And as you can see, there is a big mirror in here. This retails for $45. I believe I paid around $7 in shipping. I did see on social media that the shipping for Australia and for just basically out of the United States was pretty high, to put it mildly. I think somebody said $75 to ship to Australia. That is definitely something that Laura's company needs to work on. The exorbitant cost to ship outside of the US. It's very cost prohibitive for most people. It's kind of ridiculous actually. $45 US for the palette and then $75 US for shipping. I mean, I get that it's a lot. I've had to ship to, I had a giveaway winner that was in India, but that was $40. So I don't know, hopefully she will work on that so more of you can try this palette. It did come packaged nicely and quickly, I'll say that. I ordered it on a Tuesday. I received it on Saturday, which was yesterday. It came in this box right here. It was packaged safely and securely. It was wrapped in tissue with a nice little sticker on it. Then it came inside this box. And also inside was this little postcard that has a picture of Laura on the front. And then here are all the shades, upside down, all the shades listed with their descriptions, which I believe to be pretty accurate. Like it says, Stark is a shimmer ivory white. Yes, that's true. Exposed, a shimmer aged pewter, definitely. And you'll see when I get to the swatches. Unfortunately, I am not the world's best swatches, so I'm not the world's best swatcher. I could definitely use some improvement in that department, but hopefully you'll get the idea, because I know that that was one of the biggest issues that even I had in making my decision to order the palette. Because the swatches and the lighting of Laura's video made them look really washed out. And then people on social media were posting photos where everything looked pretty dark. And so when I received mine and opened it up, I was pleasantly surprised because I didn't want it to have all light shades. I know some people were disappointed that the brown was actually a dark brown. They wanted an all light palette. For me, I don't really understand the point of having all light shades, because I like to do different types of looks, light looks, dark looks. I have a standard kind of go-to look that I've kind of done today, where I like to use a darker color on the outer part of my eye. And you'll see when I get to the swatches that some are more pigmented than others. There are two glitters, the Au Naturel and Jaybird shades, which are these two right here. It does say on this little card that those are best used with glitter glue or a wet brush. They're very similar to the Dose of Colors Desi Katie palette, the two that were in there that worked really well with a wet brush or your fingers. The texture is very, very similar to those. I used a glitter glue today and it worked great. So I'm gonna get to the tutorial in a moment. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to get to about the palette. Hopefully my lighting is okay. That's one of the difficulties of trying to purchase based on what you see on YouTube. It's because everybody's lighting can change colors a little bit. The time of day can change the color, but I'm just gonna tell you this. I am really impressed with the palette overall. I was pleasantly surprised that there were a great mixture of neutral shades. It's not a rosy palette like a lot of people were thinking, that it would be reminiscent of like Urban Decay Naked 3, but there's really only 2 rosy shades, Topless and Bare. It's very neutral, hence why it's called Nudie Patootie, because it is nude looking. You can get nude looks, you can get bolder looks. Anyway, I was just pleasantly surprised. The only thing, my only issue, which is not even really an issue, but Buff and Nakey Nakey, these 2 colors right here, they're pretty similar. One is obviously matte and one has some shimmer, but the tone of them, of those shades, I'll swatch those for you real quick. You'll see these again in a few minutes, but Nakey Nakey and Buff, I don't know, I just feel like they're kind of similar and she could have just done one or the other and maybe added another color in its place. All right, let's move on to those swatches. And once again, I apologize that they are not the best. And I do believe that when I filmed the swatches, one of my eyelashes was coming off, so pay no attention to that either. I'm having to redo, this is my take 2 of my intro, and then I'm also gonna redo my outro. So let's get to the swatches and then the tutorial. So these are the first 3 shades: Stark, Undressed, and Topless. Now, I'm not the world's best swatcher, but I have to say that if I swatched this palette before using it first, I would have been kind of disappointed because they're not swatching that great. Stark was okay, I had to go over it twice. Undressed, hardly got any pigment out of it. Topless, that one is quite pigmented. Next is Streaking, Uncover, and Stripped. Next up is Bare, Nakey Nakey, and Buff. 1 swipe of each. Next up is Butt Naked, also 1 swipe. So here is Reveal and Expose. So now I'll show you Jaybird and Au Naturel. So the first shade I'm using is this one called Stark. I am taking this flat shader brush, it's just an old one from Smashbox, and I'm applying that right underneath my brow. This is a lot more shimmery than I anticipated. I didn't swatch them before I went in and started using them, so I'm sure I would have figured that out had I swatched it first, but I didn't. I just went right in with an underbrow highlight and discovered it was very, very shimmery. Now I'm just taking a pencil brush and applying that to my tear duct as well. I love this shade for a tear duct highlight. If you like a bold tear duct, then this is amazing for that. I know some people don't like that look, but I do. For my crease, I'm using a Morphe E28, and I'm using this shade right here called Streaking. And I'm just running that through my crease. Now I did apply an eyeshadow base first. I used the Milani eyeshadow primer, and then I set it with a little Too Faced Peach Perfect mattifying powder, but you can use any loose powder. Does not matter. So after moving this shade just back and forth in my crease, I'm using a Sigma blending brush E25, and I'm doing kind of the same thing, but I'm starting in the outer corner, making little circles, and then working my way into the crease. So the highest concentration of color is going to be on that outer corner. And because I have hooded lids, I am really pushing the product into where my crease should be. So I'm kind of looking straight on and just pushing in. And then making little circles and blending in towards my nose. Once that's completed, I'm going in with a Morphe 124, using the shade Nakey Nakey, placing that right on the outer corners of my eye. And I'm just patting it right there on that outer corner. And then I'm taking that first brush we used, not adding any more product, but just kind of blending it a little bit. And then I keep going back and forth with this shade until I get the intensity that I am looking for. Next, I'm taking some Too Faced glitter glue, placing that on my finger, and then patting it onto the eyelid, the inner corner and the mobile eyelid. Then using a different finger, I'm going into the shade Topless. And pressing that where I placed the glitter glue. Now you can stop right here and just put mascara and lashes on, or just mascara, or you can do wing liner. I'm gonna go in with the shade Jaybird and just kind of take it up a notch. Going right over the topless shade. And this got a little crusty this time. It's a horrible word, crusty, but yeah, a little flaky, like it's little chunky glitters, which I'm not sure how I feel about that, but this side it didn't do that. Maybe I had too much glitter glue on this side, I'm not sure. And I have a little bit of fallout. Then using another Sigma E25, I'm gonna go into the shade Bear. And I'm going to go right in between that white highlight and the first shade we put down, which was Streaking. So I'm gonna go right in between those two colors and gently, gently blend out that area. Just go back and forth and back and forth. And I'm going back in with a little bit more nakey and darkening that up some more. Next, I'm taking this Marc Jacobs pencil in the shade Brownout, and I'm applying this to the lower lash lines. Then using a pencil brush, I believe this is a MAC 219, the numbers have worn off. I'm going back in with Butt Naked, and I'm smoking that out just a little bit. Next, I'm taking this NARS Larger Than Life eye pencil. And then I'm tight lining my upper lids with the Charlotte Tilbury Rock and Kohl in Bedroom Black. And now I'm going to curl my lashes and apply some mascara. The mascara I'm using is Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. And of course you can leave it like this. I'm going to pop on some lashes. These are Carrie from Koko Lashes, and I will be right back. I did end up taking this pencil brush and running a little bit of Bay underneath my lower lash lines. I just took a little bit on the brush and just went right underneath. So this is the completed look using the NUDIE Patootie palette. I'm gonna list everything else I'm wearing in the description bar, but I will just quickly go through what's on my cheeks. It is the Chanel Joues Contraste in Rose Initial. My highlight is this one from Persona Cosmetics. It is called Zuma. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Why not? And then for my lips, I used Chestnut Lip Pencil from Laura Mercier. And then I filled in my lips with, where is it? Found it. It is Colourpop's Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Aquarius. And then I topped it with this Too Faced Sweet Peach Creamy Peach Oil Lip Gloss in the shade Peach Fuzz. So this right here is my lip combo. So here we have the finished look using the Laura Lee Los Angeles NUDIE Patootie eyeshadow palette. As I said earlier, I'm really happy with it. I think that it's worth getting. I am impressed with the pigments, the way they blend. Is my eyelash coming off again? Oh, good Lord, hopefully it's not. I don't think so, but these lashes are new. I've never worn them before, this style, and I don't think they're the best ones for me, but anyway. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would go ahead and hit that subscribe button and follow me on my social media. I have Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and Twitter. Everything is under the same name, Risa Does Makeup. Once again, I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.